In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I went from zero to $10,000 in the span of 24 to 48 hours by just implementing AI systems into local businesses. It's the easiest way you can actually make money is in 2026. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain everything in a step-by-step way. This is basically going to be a full guide on exactly how to do this. So if you barely have any money in your account within the next 48 to whatever hours, you can literally have 10,000 in there. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not saying this is going to be a get rich quick scheme or anything like that, but I'm proof that this actually works. So if you just put a little bit of work into it, if you don't get it in 48 hours, you're fucking getting it in a week. All right. So listen closely and watch the entire thing because I'm going to break down everything. And also, I know I said AI. You don't need to be a tech genius. You don't need to know any coding or really anything about AI. So I'll walk you through everything step by step in this video, just so you know that I'm not bullshitting. So essentially what we do is that we sell services to local businesses. Now I have AI in brackets right here because we utilize AI to fulfill these services, but that doesn't really matter. The core principle is implementing some sort of service, to a local business, which means that you can utilize AI or even outsource this shit to somebody else who can just do the fulfillment while you just provide the service. So you're basically almost like a middleman to a local business because they have no idea how to implement AI or any of these services into their own business. So they're looking for outside help for somebody to be able to implement that. I just got off a call with one of our potential clients where what he said is like, I've barely opened up a computer or I barely know how to use a computer, so on and so on. So how the fuck is this guy going to implement AI systems into his own business? Of course he's not. He doesn't want that. He wants somebody else to do it for him, but he does not know who. So that's why he's going to jump on a call with you and pay you a couple $1,000 to implement this into his business while he can just focus on doing what actually matters. So that's kind of how it works. You don't even necessarily need to say that you're utilizing AI to do this. You're just going to do it anyway because that's the smartest, easiest, and most efficient way to get the best results. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, you need to build out an offer. And when I say build out an offer, what I actually mean is that you need to have something that is super tangible and results driven based on what niche you're in. So I'll literally walk you through. This is a screenshot from our own website, kind of how we have a couple deliverables laid out. What we do is that we set up digital systems, automatic follow-ups, and just like automations, so on and so on. But we also have online booking connected to your calendar so that we actually acquire all their leads. We help them out with the marketing, their lead gen, their sales process, basically their whole backend from A to Z, which is what we help out with. Now, even this is a little bit too broad. I'm going to teach you exactly how to have a proper offer that is literally going to print. Obviously, this is just some of the deliverables that we have. I'm not going to give you my exact offer within the niche that we're in, but here's the core thing. Before you build out an offer, you need to have a proper niche to decide from. So listen to this carefully because this is going to be a crucial part of the video. You have to have a proper niche so that you can curate your offer around this niche. Now, why this is such an important part of the video is because a niche truly matters. I'll give you a couple different examples just so you really understand what I mean. So you have a couple different niches you can go for. Obviously, we're targeting local businesses, so we can have people that do service-based businesses in person, locally, whatever, right? So you have your fucking med spas, you have your chiropractors, you have your dentists, you have your roofers, you have your realtors, whatever, right? So here's a great example. This really depends a little bit on the situation you're in, but pick a niche that you feel like fits you the best. I'll give you an example. For instance, realtors are a great niche for somebody starting out. Let's just say that, right? The reason why is because the leads are going to cost barely anything. You're going to get a bunch of leads. They're going to be very cheap and you're going to have a lot of them, right? So potential closes, so on and so on, getting a lot of experience and whatnot. Now, that's just an example. The downside with this is that your CPM is obviously going to be very low, so the leads are going to be super cheap. However, what ends up happening is that it's very hard to get realtors results because they help people buy their first home. They're literally helping somebody, or they're trying to close a home, which means that they're actually getting somebody to make the biggest financial decision of their life, which means it can take months on end before they're ever going to close that deal or sell that house, right? So for a realtor, his sales cycle is so long that you can't even really get him any tangible and results driven basis within the next 3 months, right? But you're going to get a lot of leads so you can potentially close them in some sort of way, right? So they're a super cheap niche. However, it's going to be hard to actually give them results. Then you have, let's just say, clinics like dentists, right? Which is another great niche. Amazing because they have money, they all operate well. Their sales cycle is super short, which means somebody books an appointment and within the next 3 weeks, usually their appointment is finished, right? Which means that they have their results pretty quickly. On the flip side, this niche is much more expensive. There's not as many of them as there are realtors. It's harder maybe to close because they're bigger deals, clinics, so on and so on, right? So you kind of have to weigh out your options. There's no right or wrong answer, but pick a niche that you feel like fits you the best based on the situation that you're in. If you're in a starting phase, pick a niche that isn't as expensive, but you can get a decent amount of leads while still being able to provide results. If you're picking something that is, if you're like in a great place, you have a bunch of money, whatever, pick a niche that is maybe a little bit more expensive, but you can get bigger deals with, such as dentists and so on, right? So just try to, it's kind of hard, but you want to avoid a little bit of a middle part, which can be good as well, but it can be hard. Things like roofers is a super saturated market. Everybody's been burnt in the past and stuff like that. So look for maybe sub niches of these categories. So if you think roofers, they're all super saturated. Everybody's been burned in the past. They have no trust, XYZ. Maybe people like solar, people that sell solar need leads, so on and so on, right? So you have all these sub niches within the big niches, which are really good and targeted niches that aren't as expensive, but it's still going to get you great results. So think of those, pick a niche, and then you want to build out an offer. What you do from here is that you want to have a tangible results driven thing. So let's just keep it simple. Let's just say we pick dentists and we want to get them 30 to 60 new patients in the next 90 days, or you don't pay. Right? That's a super tangible, results driven offer, which pretty much everybody's going to understand. You're getting them this. And then within all this offers to get those 30 to 60 new patients, you kind of have all these AI integrations and system built into place. But the core pretty much offer is the lead generation, being able to help with everything. So that's kind of how the offer works. I really hope that makes sense. Next thing you need from now on is obviously some way to pitch or be able to, my bad for this, some way to be able to pitch and build out this offer for somebody. The way you do that is by making a landing page where people can book a call. All right. The reason why they're going to book a call is because you want to jump on that call and then you want to try to close the person you're talking to for however many bucks based on the service you're going to fulfill, right? So the way this works is that you have this amazing service, but you have nobody to pitch it to. So you need to find business owners so they can book a call on that website and then talk with them, see if you can help them. If you can, pitch them, and hopefully they close. Now, from here, a lot of people might be asking, okay, but why would somebody just book on a random website, or why would even anybody just book a call just because there's a calendar there? Don't I need a VSL, which is a video sales letter for the people that don't know? Do I need that? Do I don't need that? What should I do? So on and so on, right? And I'm going to keep this very simple. All you have to do is make a landing page like this. You can do this and go high level. You can code this yourself if you want to, or you can just hire somebody to make it for you. It doesn't matter. You do it however you want to. You can even use Calendly. I know a lot of people, when they start out, they just use Calendly. It's a way for people to just book straight into the calendar. What you want to do is basically just have a landing page where you have your offer at the top. So let's just have the offer that we said, 30 to 60 new patients in 90 days or you don't pay. And then underneath, you just have your calendar and maybe some reviews and testimonials if you have them. If you don't, you'll just have to add them later down the line, right? So that's what you're going to have in the beginning stages on this what's it called, landing page. No, you don't need a VSL when you're just starting out. The reason why is because the VSL is actually going to turn a lot of people away. So if you're just starting out and you want to get as many leads as possible, just have your calendar there, because a lot of people are just going to book in. It's way easier to just book in people and then just have a couple more calls than having a VSL, which is going to just turn a bunch of people away because they're not even going to watch the VSL. They're just not going to book. It's going to turn them off and so on. And that is good for lead quality, but is not necessarily good if you're looking for lead volume, right? So you kind of have to weigh those options out. However, what I recommend if you're starting out, just have a calendar with your offer on top. And then you need to make sure to have a VSL after the booking. So that is the number one most important thing, just like we have right here. So when somebody gets into this thing, and don't worry, by the way, we'll talk later about how to get traffic to this website. But once you have it up, you need to be able to have a VSL after the fact. So as you can see right here on our own website, once a person has booked, it says your call is booked. Your free call is booked. Watch the short video below and complete the steps to confirm your appointment and avoid cancellation. So there we have a VSL where we pretty much go through everything, exactly what they can expect, what we do, so on and so on, right? So this is exactly how things are structured, how they're laid out, so on and so on. But this is crucial. The reason why is because if you don't have this, your show rate is going to be trash. Your calls are not going to go as you want them to go because you don't have everything laid out, right? So make sure to have this in place. The way you do this is by just recording a simple video, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Just explain what you do, who you've helped, how you can help them, and make sure to confirm their appointment. This way, they're just going to have way more trust than if they were to just book a random call on a landing page and then not knowing anything about you. So you have to have a VSL after the booking page. This is so crucial. Please don't skip this step. It's one of the most important things. Otherwise, you're probably not going to have any calls and no chances to even close. So once we have this set up, obviously what happens is that now we just need to be able to send traffic to this website so we can actually have business owners to talk to. The way we're going to do this this stage right here with sending traffic is going to be to run meta ads. Now, before you click off the video or anything like that, again, because you think you need to have a bunch of money or you don't have any money, you can't run ads, all this nonsense, right? I'm here to tell you that all of this is just bullshit. Obviously, there's a bunch of different ways to get traffic. You can do cold outreach, post content and whatnot, but I'm here to tell you right now, please listen to this very, very carefully, that running ads is going to be the biggest, most essential and easiest thing you're going to do with this business model right here, because it's just way, way more reliable than doing the free things such as cold outreach and posting content. I'm telling you, like literally, if you literally have $0 in your account, I'd rather you just go on DoorDash for a week and get like $500 that you can use on ads than fucking doing cold outreach for 3 weeks and getting 0 results. I'm telling you right now, like genuinely, just get $500 so you can spend some money on ads. And as soon as you close your first client, you're just going to reinvest that money into ads so you'll have way more leads. And from there, it's going to be way easier to scale things up, right? So the way I made the 10K in 48 hours is we just started running ads for a couple bucks a day or $50 a day essentially. And then we got 5 leads out of that. And then out of those 5 leads, 2 closed for 5K. And we got 10K. It's literally like that's how easy things can change. So that's my whole point, is that you don't need a lot of money. If you can just spend 50 bucks a day until you get your first client, let's say he just closed for 1,000 bucks, right? That's 1,000 bucks you can spend on ads until you get a client that closes for 5K, and now you have 5K in the bank. Or you can reinvest that again, spend way more money on ads, spend 100 bucks, spend 300 bucks on a day on ads, and you'll have way more leads, way more deals closed, so on and so on, right? Now, the trick here is that we're also just going to use AI to make these ads, right? So you're not going to spend a bunch of time, you don't know how to do this, so on and so on. I'm literally going to show you right now in this video exactly how you can make ads with AI. So what you're going to do is that you're going to go to Ideogram AI. Let's see, it's right here. Now, I'm just going to log in real quick and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so as you guys can see, once you're in Ideogram, this is just like a couple examples that I've made for different niches, just clinics, even roofers, I think I made up here. A couple examples, more for roofers, just more examples. So you guys kind of understand the whole aspect of things, right? You can do this however you want to do it, just make your own prompts and whatnot. But this is just a great example of how it's done, right? So let's just say that we really like this right here. Make your calendar less empty, 30 to 50 new patients in 90 days. The way you do this is literally just by going into ChatGPT and just ask it for a prompt. This right here is literally, you can see the prompt that I've used to make this right here. You literally just copy this, the prompt you get from ChatGPT, paste it in right here. Once you hit enter, it's going to give you a generated image, and then you literally just use this image for ads. It's so simple. You don't need to be a designer. You don't need any fancy new things. Look at this. It just made a new one. Looks pretty cool. You can literally just dump this straight into Meta Ads and you'll make a shit ton of money off of it. Like, it's literally that simple. So copy my prompt if you want to. If you don't know how to copy, you can screenshot on the computer right now and then just copy this, or just go into ChatGPT and ask it to give you a prompt for the type of ad that you want to make, right? So it is really that simple. It's not hard to make these ads whatsoever. Once you have the ads ready, just launch them as ads on Meta Ads. Like I said, just spend 50 bucks a day straight to the website, leads to the website. They're gonna book a call. After they book the call, have the VSL there, and then all you have to do is literally just close your booked appointments. That's going to be the next mission. So if you don't know how to close your appointments, you basically just have to build a gap. It's not that hard. Look up a couple sales calls on YouTube and whatnot. I know this might even start to sound complicated and whatnot, but you can really see actually how simple it is. Have a service that you can fulfill. Use AI to fulfill this service. Make ads or make a website. If you want to do it with AI as well, you can do so. But just have an offer, have them book a call, run ads so you get traffic to that landing page, have them book a call. Once they do, just jump on that call, try to close them. When you're closing a call, you just want to bridge a gap. Just ask the person where they're at right now with their business, what they feel like they're struggling with, what they need help with. Ask them where they want to be. Look at that gap. Can you actually, does your, I guess, service excuse me, holy shit, is your service actually able to fulfill that gap in the middle so they come from here to where they want to be? If so, you just pitch them on your service and they're going to close for a couple $1,000. When they do so, you'll just reinvest that into ads and make way more money later down the line. Even with all this, use AI to fulfill your service, or you can just outsource it to somebody else. This is like the easiest way I can literally break down exactly how we went from 0 to 10,000 in like 48 hours. If you want a bit of a deeper dive, exactly how to set your ads up, exactly how to do XYZ, then I can make a video on that as well. If you want one-on-one guidance and one-on-one help, I'm also happy to do that. I'll try to leave a link below. You can book a call and we can kind of see if things make sense. Honestly, I have nothing really to sell you anyway. I'm kind of here just to help. So if you have any questions, just shoot me a text on or a DM on Instagram as well. I'm happy to help. Whatever, just let me know. I'm gonna make videos on it, but I really hope this helps. If it does, let me know. And talk to you guys next time. Take care.